What it is, what it was, what's happening, cuz it's Ice Cold and you tune into the Cold Collective Media Podcast. This is the first episode, and we gotta go ahead and tackle the Diddy case and the Cassie situation. Was Cassie a victim or was she a willing participant? We also gotta talk about Eminem winning the AMAs and also the Michael Jackson movie. Now, this is the first episode. Hey, I am Ice Cold, ISECOLD. Yeah, that's me. You can follow me on all social media platforms at ISECOLD. Yeah, that's Ice Cold. And go ahead and tap in with us on TikTok and Instagram at Cold Collective Media. Now, since it's being the first episode, also, man, go ahead and give me like a like, comment, and share stuff. So now check this out. With the whole Diddy and Cassie situation, I've seen a lot of people on all these social media platforms are saying like, "Oh, Cassie, she was willing to do this," or "Diddy's innocent," blah blah blah, or Diddy should be locked up for doing what he did with Cassie and stuff. And this is like, it's crazy because we're in today's era where you are guilty in the court of public opinion, and you have to go to court to prove that you're innocent, when it really should be the other way around, where you're innocent to proven guilty. Now, was Diddy proven to be guilty? He was proven to be guilty of abuse. And I'm not even talking about these sexual allegations and all this stuff that's going on right now within the court system. Before then, that's when a video leaked out of him basically punching and kicking on Cassie and everything. And it's crazy because if you go look at that video, she's over there, she got like a little hoodie or something like that on, and she basically is trying to leave while it looks like while he was in the shower, because he came out, he had a little towel on and stuff. And it's like, first of all, do you know how mad you gotta be to hurry up and run out a shower in a towel in the hotel room? Like, bro, I'm not even finna like walk outside. Like that's crazy. He walked outside of his hotel room, which he probably had the whole floor. I mean, we don't know. But he walked out and he basically was hitting on her and, dragging her. Now, with the comments of a lot of people, like from artists like Boosie, and hey, look, I rock with you, Boosie. Like your music, your old and new. But sometimes you be tripping, bro. You just gotta tie your shoes, bro, because you be tripping. And a lot of men feel that whenever a woman comes out and she sues for money or this and that years later and stuff, they always feel like, hey, it's a money grab. And in a lot of situations, it is. Now with this Cassie situation is kind of difficult, and we just gotta wait until the court case is over. But we could go ahead and speak about the abuse that was going on, because with the abuse, if you look at that video, what transpired, how you guys always say, hey, she could have left. Well, she was leaving. And then Diddy came back and, he grabbed her and knocked her to the ground. Now, with Diddy and Cassie, I believe Cassie was around 19 years old. Let me see. Yeah, around 19 years old when Diddy first started speaking to her. Now, you have somebody that has control over her image. Her relationships. That's just a very emotional situation. And he is a multi-millionaire, billionaire. So he's very rich. And it's crazy that a lot of y'all keep saying, oh, she could have left. But, bruh, some of y'all won't even leave your baby mama, bruh. Some of y'all will not leave your baby mama. It's some of y'all right now. You are living in a household with a chick that you do not love anymore. You will cheat on her every day. You'll say she do this, or she don't do that. I can't stand her. And your ass still there. You are still there. Now, how is it that you can easily walk away from that situation, but you got somebody over here that you're saying that she could just automatically leave this multi-millionaire, this rich man, that she could just get up and just leave like that and cut him out, be like, I ain't trying to holler at you. I don't want to talk to you no more. Somebody that could, allegedly or possibly have taken out two high-profile rappers. Now, when it comes to the Tupac and Biggie, now we don't know who killed Tupac and Biggie. But it's just ironic that Biggie got killed in L.A. Now you could say, hey, that was the get back and stuff for, Tupac being murdered in L.A. and stuff, because they was thinking, hey, it was a hit, done by Biggie and Puff Daddy at the time, which is Diddy. But we can also say that, hey, Diddy, could have had Biggie taken out, because Biggie at the time, during that period, he allegedly had a contract ready to be signed for his own label imprint of Junior Mafia. So he was going to leave under the Bad Boy imprint, and we could say that, hey, Diddy had him taken out because now Diddy owns all the rights and everything to Biggie's image, brand, in music. We can always say that. And what I'm saying, that's using those two high profile rappers as, because he got money. So that means he can pay somebody to do something and it not comes back to him. Now, of course, somebody paid for a hit for both of those rappers to be taken out, and those cases are still unsolved to this day. I don't know who paid. I think his name Keefe D, or whatever his name is. That was a former Crip or so at the time. We don't know who paid who to take out both of those rappers, but it was done. So when you go back to looking at Cassie's situation, it's not that easy for her just to get up and walk away. And then also she could have been groomed and manipulated. Now, when it comes to the sex abuse trial and stuff that's ongoing, based on a few notes that I've seen and read, there's a situation where they're saying that, hey, she could have just gone ahead and left out of that, and then she got some of the escorts and stuff for Diddy. She really enjoyed that and blah 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 or whatever, and that may be true, but just think about it. When somebody is threatening you, they're following you. They can have people follow your family. They know all about your family and whereabouts and where you might go or so. So in the beginning, she probably could have tried to leave, and he probably could have whooped her ass, and she wouldn't be able to go, and she just had to stay. And sometimes victims just begin to just do things. Now, should she be held responsible for some of the things? That is a tricky situation. I don't have all the information coming out of that court cases, because all we see is these blogs trying to be the first to post a story. So we don't know, and I can't hold I gotta hold my judgment until after the case is done, and then everything becomes public for us to actually read and discuss everything that's going on, because a lot of things that blogs may say, we don't know what has been submitted in the court. So the jury can only make a decision based on what was actually submitted into the court. So we don't know. But my thing is, like, hey, if she did any crimes and stuff like that, although she could have very well have been groomed and been feared for her life and stuff, if she did any type of crime, then maybe she should be, put in court as well. Again, that is a tricky situation, but at the end of the day, she is a victim. She is a victim, whether you're looking at the sexual abuse case that's going on right now, and a lot of people saying it's a money grab and stuff, because she had, which the case, this whole Diddy situation even is not even about Cassie right now. She's just somebody that was called to the stand. Diddy settled out of court with the whole abuse when that video dropped, and so that's when he paid her and stuff like that. So like, hey, if you innocent, hey, shoot, let's go ahead and take this to trial and stuff, because if you feel like you innocent, hey, I'm finna win this. But at the end of the day, that does cost a lot of money. But when it comes to your brand and your image and stuff, maybe that's something that you would want to fight. So right now, I'm going to say that Cassie is a victim just based on that video that came out. And there's no telling what else that has transpired since then. But he was like whooping her ass. He was whooping her ass. And that is completely wrong. And this is like everybody's just forgetting about that whole situation that transpired. And not to mention all the other things that we've heard about Diddy doing. Like, let's go back to day 26. Some of the stuff that he made them do on camera. That was a whole like crazy situation. Just some of the stuff he was doing. Now you could say, oh, he did some of those things for entertainment and stuff, but maybe he was doing a lot of that crazy stuff to boost his ego. No. Now going on, we're going to talk about Eminem. Eminem winning that AMA award. So there was a lot of people pissed off about that. I know Kai and Sanai's like, man, I F with, Slim Shady, but like, what the. And I know everybody was expecting, they wanted to hear the same things like Future and, hey, what about Kendrick? Kendrick had this phenomenal year. He performed at the Super Bowl and he was on the Billboard, 100, 200, one of them hundreds. He was on the Billboard and stuff with the Not Like Us and stuff with all these other artists. How you gonna choose Eminem? And here's the thing. Just because you like all these other artists, you feel like they are up there or whatever, that doesn't mean that they should win every single award. Because at the end of the day, the AMAs is voted by the people. Now, let me go ahead and look up a few numbers. So Eminem has sold over 220 million records globally. 220 million. Do you know that is a lot of records to sell? And a lot of that is majority pure like CD sales. Now, of course, you can add in the streaming era as well, but he was doing it like during the CD era. Now we can look at it. Let me go ahead and look at some more stuff. Top selling album was Eminem Show that dropped in 2002. Over 38 million records sold. 2002. So that is the prime CD era with over 38 million records sold. So whether that album was placed at $10 an album or $15 an album, people went to the stores and they purchased that album, and it's over 38 million. So that is a lot for y'all to just come on here and just be like, how the hell Eminem win this? How did he win that? Which is crazy. Let me see, pull up some more information. So the voting, let's go ahead and look at the voting. So the voting, the AMAs are entirely fan voted and they're completely different from award shows like the Grammys. Let me see if I could get what was the period of the voting. Fans could vote, cost their. All right, so the voting period for the 2025 AMA Awards opened up on April 23rd, 2025, this year, and it closed on May 15th. For most categories, and voting for the collaboration of the year and social song of the year remain open until May 26, 2025. So that lets you know that this was all voted by the fans. This was all voted by the fans. So you could have easily went on to the website or whatever platform where they had the voting, and you could have submitted your vote for whatever rapper or artist that you wanted to win. This isn't a situation where it's like the Grammys or so. They got like a whole collection of people that do the same voting every single year. This is strictly voted by the fans. Now, do some instances feel like it's unfair and stuff? I know there's so many artists out there just pissed off. Like when Beyonce was like really in her prime, just winning all these awards. Like, dang, bro, Beyonce again. Like, bro, Beyonce again. Like, how many awards she gonna get? So I feel like, hey, we should just congratulate Eminem on winning. And Eminem is one of the greats. He's probably the top 20 rappers of all time, if not top 10. Hell, I might even say top 5, especially when you look at the album sales, but not only just the sales. Bruh got some lyrics. He started off, in the underground rap scene, is doing battle raps and stuff like that, and so he got discovered by Dr. Dre. So he really put that work in, and he really was one of them ones with the pen and that pad. A lot of these new rappers can't do that. A lot of these new rappers just aren't about that, and we may not even see rappers of that caliber come out anymore. Like we got a lot of dope rappers and stuff right now. We got a lot of dope rappers, but it's really hard to find rappers of that caliber just to, to make a statement like that, to continue after being in the game for over 20 plus years. Because I think Eminem came out in the 90s, the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken, the late 90s or early 2000s. It's one of those. He's right there, but to still say that he's still winning awards for the projects that he's putting out, that that is a wonderful thing to do. That's a wonderful thing to do. So I think we should just stop hating and be like, dang, well, you know what? Hopefully next year this other artist could win. This other artist. Look at Kendrick Lamar, phenomenal artist that just performed at the Super Bowl a few months ago and is getting all these awards, selling out stadiums and stuff. Kendrick been rapping for a long time as well. I know a decade plus. I know for sure about a decade. For sure about a decade. So things don't always just happen. Kendrick has always, not always, but Kendrick has won a lot of awards already. So you never know what may happen next year. Next year could be his year and stuff. But if you want Kendrick to win, Future to win, hell, Lil Yachty to win, any rapper that you want to win, any singer, pop singer, your ass need to vote. Go on the campaign and push for them. Like, hey man, we gotta vote for them for the AMH. We gotta vote for them for this. We gotta vote for them for that. You can still go ahead and do that, bro. But you ain't gotta hate on somebody else just because your artist didn't win. It happens all the time. Crazy. I think Billie Eilish won some type Eilish. I apologize for messing up your name. She won AMA. I don't know what category or anything like that, but she don't rap. I believe she in the pop world. I think I heard I want to say I heard like a song or two from her. And so that's a fine looking white girl. Um, hey, she on top of something. I don't see people like, man, why she win? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take that back because there probably is some people out there saying, why she win this and why Sexy Red ain't win or something like that. Yeah, ain't no telling. Now, last but not least, we got to get into Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. So, there's a new film that they're working on, a biopic on Michael Jackson, and let me see, pull up some notes. It was really originally supposed to come out this year, and it's played by Michael Jackson. Is actually played by his nephew. What's his name? Jafar. Played by his nephew. So that's gonna be interesting. I remember one of the greatest biopics and stuff was really supposed to be on the Jackson Five. The Jackson Five. The Jackson family was I think it was called The American Dream, and it was three. I want to say 3 episodes. It was like 3 movies in one or something like that, and it basically showed Michael Jackson as a kid and how the Jackson Five would start practicing and stuff in the house, like in the living room, how their daddy was making them do this, and then how they start leveling up the stuff they went through, like in the 70s, and then how Michael broke out solo, like in the 80s, dropping Thriller, and how he was doing. I think the 90s is where I want to say, did it stop in the 90s or the 80s? I gotta look at it again. I don't remember which part that it stopped, but that was wonderful. That was really done well. So I would love to see them do this for this. I feel like maybe they should have did a series because there's just so much information just to try to squeeze into a film. But I heard that they pushed the movie back because they're going to do like 2 parts of the film. Let me see. And that's going to be interesting because a lot of things transpired in Michael Jackson's life, and there's so many different eras of his life, but you got Michael Jackson as a kid, with the Jackson Five, lead singer with the Jackson Five as a kid. So you got the 70s, then you got the 80s, and the 80s was just like his, I guess you could say his prime years, or really just his breakout year. I'll say that. It was just so much like when Beat It dropped and stuff, the visuals, the music videos, and his music videos are like mini movies that dropped. Then you had the 90s, and then you had these him selling out these stadiums across the world and people just falling out, just Like people, women just falling out. They got ambulances and stuff pulling up at his stadium shows and stuff because somebody was gonna pass out, and it was gonna be more than one person. Somebody just jumping out through the floor and just doing that, and people just falling out. So there's a lot that they need to tackle on this whole situation, and I don't know who the film is done by. Is it if it's done by his estate, if it's done by his former record label, or somebody just got the rights to Michael Jackson's name and image. I have no idea who it's done by. Now, if his nephew is involved, it should be done pretty well. It should be done pretty well, but we just don't know. So with something like that, and you're gonna send it to the theater, it's gonna be a lot of people to go and watch that film. So it has to be done right. But will that film tackle everything that transpired in his life? Will it show the highs and the lows, or will it just show like the good points in his life? Because he had a lot of controversy and stuff going on. So will it tackle those issues and how he was fighting against a lot of things that transpired? I know it's going to feature the Pepsi commercial and stuff where the pyrotechnics burned his hair and stuff like that. So I know it's going to feature that. But will they talk about when he landed the role in The Wiz? When he landed the role in The Wiz, and there's like a lot of people don't even talk about that, when he played the Scarecrow in The Wiz. So I think that'll be dope in the film if they'll show like little behind the scenes, like in the actual movie, playing like a behind the scenes of him landing the role in The Wiz, him auditioning how he did in the audition, and then him just working, within the movie and stuff like this. I think that would be extremely incredible if they added that. But see, it's just so much. It's so many different things that Michael Jackson did. I think there was a ride at Disney World or something like that that was, I don't know if it's Space Mountain or something. He did a video for, or a little mini movie, Captain Emo or something like that was happening. And then like the video game and stuff. Like there's a lot to tackle on Michael Jackson, a whole lot that this new generation don't even know about. This new generation, like, they haven't even touched the surface on the things that Michael Jackson has done. Because I hear it all the time. They be comparing him to other artists and stuff. And I'm just like, there's no artist alive or dead that you can compare to Michael Jackson. Now, a lot of people say Prince. A lot of people say that you can compare Michael Jackson and Prince. And I'm going to tell you why you can't. Now, with Prince was a phenomenal artist. This dude played instruments and everything. His music was fire. He wrote his music and stuff. Phenomenal artist, always put on a good show. But Michael Jackson was one of them ones. Prince sold out some arenas. He may have sold out some stadiums. I will have to look up that information. But Prince ain't had no ambulances pull up to every one of his shows because they knew somebody was going to pass out. Michael Jackson going to other countries, continents. And I'm talking about a Fleetwood of people out there just want to see a little bit of Michael Jackson. They just want to see him walking. That's it. I'm talking about he going over there and people just falling out. Michael, he just breathe. Ain't nobody do that for Prince. Now Prince had some panties, some draws and bras thrown on his stage during his era. He did. Michael Jackson then had draws, bras, and hearts, lungs, and everything thrown on his stage. Talking about this, the security barrier had to be on point. Security, Michael Jackson had to have military as security. I'm talking about somebody just ready to blow your head off if you try to jump up on that stage. Because that's how crazy people was about Michael Jackson back then. It was just on a whole another level. Check this out. After you watch this video, go on YouTube. You could go on TikTok, type in Michael Jackson, type in his concerts, and you will see. Or you could type in all the people that are falling out at Michael Jackson concert. So you don't think I'm just sitting here just saying some stuff? Because Michael Jackson was just on a whole nother level. Look, the NFL. The NFL was so pissed off at In Living Color. They were so pissed off at In Living Color for taking their spot in the Super Bowl. They were pissed off at In Living Color for taking their spot in the Super Bowl because it was at a halftime show that the NFL was having, or well, the halftime slide. And I think they used to have like bands or something like that play during that time. And so In Living Color decided to drop some type of segment or something like that during that little 15-minute break. And NFL lost a lot of its viewers, went over there to, I think, was it Fox? Was it Fox? No, I don't remember what In Living Color was on, but a lot of the fans and stuff went to go watch the In Living Color segment, which millions of people were doing. So that's when the next year NFL was like, "Hey, y'all ain't doing that no more. Y'all not about to do that no more." So they went and got Michael Jackson, and he performed the first halftime show where an artist was brought on, and that just transcended the NFL to a whole nother level. And then that started the whole thing of, hey, every year we're gonna bring an artist to perform, and they called Michael Jackson. So I'm really excited to see this film come out. So it's gonna be pushed back, and it's going to come out in 2026. Hopefully we don't get any more delays, but I would love for them to drop a trailer, even though it's gonna drop in 2026. Can we get a trailer of the film this year? And hey, go ahead and drop that trailer and stuff, because if it's trash, whatever, the fan base gonna let you know, and maybe I could go back to the writing board like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and fix this. Let's fix that, because that's what they did with that Sonic movie. He came out there looking like that monkey off of the original Jumanji film, and they was like, nah, bro, Sonic can't look like that. So guess what? They went ahead and pushed it back. They went back up in there in them studios and rewrote, or not rewrote, but drew up some little concepts of how Sonic was gonna look, and they got it right. And now we got Sonic 1, 2, and 3, maybe even 4. So that's end of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And look, if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit a like for me. Go ahead and comment and share this video to somebody. And look, tap in with me on TikTok and Instagram. I gotta get the Instagram followers up for Code Collector Media and stuff, man. I'm trying to change the game with this platform. I'm just trying to highlight more on the hip hop community, but also just in general. We're gonna speak on everything and stuff, but I want to help out a lot of artists and different brands out there. So again, my name is Ice Cold, ISECOLD, and I'll holler at you later. This is Code Collector Media.